thought about growing your hair out into its natural state of gray? Or perhaps you want to continue coloring your hair and wait until you're into your later years, even perhaps wait until you're in your 80s. I've been struggling with this decision for a while, and I thought I would do this video so we could discuss the process of keeping your confidence and making that decision to let your gray hair grow in. As you can see, I've started to let more of my gray in. And so if you're interested in hearing my thoughts and tips on going gray, please stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and welcome to Timeless Beauty Studio for the Mature Woman. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the process of letting your hair grow gray. So I'm sure there's many ladies out there who have already had let their hair grow gray out, or in the process of starting that process too, or just don't want to even think about it. So anyway, I thought I would have a little discussion on going gray and giving some tips on what to think about and how to stay feeling confident as we're going through this process. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for joining me, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so by hitting the subscribe button and the bell, and if you're already subscribed to me, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I just want to talk about the process. So when my process anyways started in my 30s, I started to go gray. Actually, the story there is I had left my first husband, and I hadn't seen him for about a year after we had separated, because he lived out in the West Coast and I lived in Ontario. Anyway, he came for a visit one day after not seeing him for quite a while, and he says, "Oh my," he says, "I can't believe how much gray you've gotten in your hair." And I was around 30 years old at the time. So that really stuck with me, and of course, after he said that, I started coloring my hair. So, you know, that obviously struck a chord with me. I wasn't too happy. But anyway, and also gray hair is hereditary, and my family, my mother had gone gray early. My brother had gone gray early too. So with me being the same coloring, I figured that's going to happen to me too. But anyway, so I started coloring my hair probably around that time, in my early 30s. And I'm 62 now, so I've been coloring my hair for a number of years. So anyway, I started thinking about, you know, you get tired of doing the coloring process all the time. With my hair being short, I go in for a haircut every 4 weeks. So I get the color and the cut done every 4 weeks. So it's a lot of maintenance. And it's not like when your hair is longer, you can let it grow for a much longer period of time and you don't notice the gray as much. So, you know, the process was very slow at first. So you've seen me in other videos having this white streak in my hair. That is my natural white hair color. I had decided to start that way in a slow process. So it's funny, you know, my mother had a white streak when she was getting older, but hers was actually natural. It grew in that way, but because she never colored her hair. But anyway, I decided to try that process because I really kind of liked the look. And what I did was I consulted with my hairdresser and said what I wanted to do, and she decided that it would be a good idea what we do is bleach out that area. So we took that section here and then we started to bleach it out to the blondes. So the thing was, to get it with my coloring, I didn't want to have like a golden or yellowy blonde. So they tried a few times to get it to more of an ashy blonde, which worked out pretty good. And then eventually it just started growing out, and every time she cut off the blonde, and then it ended up pretty fast growing out into my natural gray. So anyway, that's the story of myself growing my hair. Up until recently, as you can see, I have this new haircut, and I decided, well, I'm going to go a little step farther and because I know I have a lot of gray through here, and when they were coloring it, within 2 weeks the gray was showing through, so I was getting very frustrated. So anyway, I asked him to cut it really short there, and so this was a trial, and just to see if I liked it. Well, when I first looked at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. But I came home, my husband's always very supportive, and he said he liked it, and actually my kids said they liked it. Now I don't know if they were just saying that, but but anyway, I decided to try it for a little while longer, and I think I like it. I think I'm gonna keep it, and next time they're gonna keep cutting this shorter, or letting this, it'll probably come in quite white, and then I'll gradually add some, but I think I'll always keep a little bit of the darkness in there too, just to give it some contrast. So being that I have contrast, it's easier for me to keep the wardrobe I have, because I have a lot of black and white, so it suits with the contrast. So anyway, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about my process of going gray. So so my thoughts are, and my tips are to you, just to, it's a very personal thing. There's a lot of ladies that don't want to do it, and actually I didn't want to do it. I never thought I would let it grow out this soon. I always said to the kids, I'm going to wait till after I'm 70 and then I'll see how I feel. But because of that process dragging out and costing, and it was just starting to irritate me, I thought, you know what, I'll try it now. So anyway, make sure you talk to your hairdresser, and also I think you really have to be sure that this is something you want to do, because it is a scary process for some of us. I know a lot of ladies who can wear the blonde, like the really white blonde hair, so it looks really great on them. I think probably they were fair as a younger person, and it really suits them. But myself, I was always a deep dark brunette, so I always wanted to be a blonde, but I don't think I could take that process and bleach the whole head blonde. I don't think that would be too dramatic for me. So, but anyway, I would really like to hear your thoughts. I know going gray, like I said, is a very personal thing. So let me know what your thoughts, and have you taken that step, and how did that make you feel? You always worry about looking older, and when I talked to my current hairdresser that I have right now, he said to me, he felt that any time a woman lets her hair grow in, it does make them look older. And but then he laughed and said also, as a hairdresser, he prefers to have them coloring their hair. So even that statement, it does make you look older. And I'm thinking, you know what? Even if it makes me look older, I don't care. I have to be comfortable with myself, and just adhere to what I think of trying to keep myself youthful looking. And then I'm going to talk to you about some of those steps. So anyway, first of all, what I thought I'd do is I want to show you some pictures of some celebrities that have taken the step to go gray, and I think they look amazing as they matured and have gone gray. So I have put a picture in here of Glenn Close, and I remember her way back, and she looks just lovely as she has gone gray. And also Diane Keaton, another lady that looks amazing and stylish as she's aged. Another one is Jamie Lee Curtis, who I've often admired, thought she was so beautiful, and she's still very beautiful. I believe she's in her 60s also. And the gray looks amazing on her. And also Helen Mirren, who is a very elegant actress, I've always thought was so beautiful. And her white hair looks amazing on her too. And also Judi Dench, another very pretty mature woman who can really rock the gray hair. So I just wanted to put those pictures in for you, and I think they're just interesting to see how beautiful these mature women have turned out to be. So anyway, I just wanted to go through some tips now on going gray and what you can think about when you do decide to make that decision. So, okay, so let me talk about the steps that I thought would be good to think about when you to make that decision. Okay, so what I had mentioned first of all is just be sure that you're ready for it, because it's something that you have to, if you're not ready for it and you're still thinking about I don't want to do it, then there's no point in doing it. So or you can just say, I'm going to experiment like myself and keep adding in more and more as I go along, just to acclimatize myself to the fact of the gray. And you want to see what kind of gray you're getting into. So I found out that the top of my head was all this white, pure white. So I thought, okay, well, it's not too bad. And then around the sides and the backs, a bit more salt and pepper. So figure out what kind of gray you think you're going to have too, because you might not like the gray. If you're a warmer undertone, sometimes the gray can be a little dull. So you might not want to rush into growing that out. But there is ways to get around that too when you do decide to grow it out. So start off very slow, like a slow process like I had mentioned, and consult with your hairdresser. And usually they're pretty good at giving you some ideas of ways to grow out your gray confidently, so you don't feel, oh my gosh, what have I done, sort of thing. And another thing is to see, are you cool or are you warm? So when I talked about looking at the gray, usually if you are a cool undertone, the gray will come through as the salt and pepper, or white or silver. If you're a warm undertone, it might come through as like a muted gray and a little bit of a goldy gray. So you have to determine what that gray is going to look like too, so to make the best of it. And placement is important. Like I had mentioned, I had just put one piece in here. You might want to do different highlights throughout the hair too, to start off and build it up as you go along. Or you might decide just to cut it all off and let it all grow in. I wasn't as brave to do that at the top of my hair. That's why I've left it a bit longer. And you want to look at having a great haircut when you are going gray, especially when you're going gray. You want to keep current. So go through Pinterest, see what kind of haircuts that's in Pinterest. They have some really modern haircuts and beautiful cuts for women, mature women. The cut I got right now is a little bit funky, and that's just my way of keeping youthful, because I have a youthful spirit, and I want to keep that. And so that a good haircut, a youthful haircut, really makes a big difference. And also make sure that you protect your hair using proper things for gray hair that really help it. For instance, I use a shampoo that's for gray hair, and it's called AG Haircare. It's sterling silver. So it's a toning shampoo you can use it for blonde or gray hair. And when you open it up, it is a purple color. I don't know if you can see there. It's a purple color. So what it does, it helps keep the whites, the white of the hair, so it doesn't look brassy. I use this shampoo a couple times a week, and it just helps keeping the white and not letting it, if you have hard water or well water, you want to make sure that you use something like this. So it's definitely a bonus for white hair. Another thing I like to use sometimes to keep it, because white hair can get very wiry and dry and coarse. Actually, sometimes what I do is I coat it with Vaseline and I let it sit, and it really does help the hair. And then the next, I like to comb it through my white, and then the next day I'll wash it out, and it really does moisturize that white part of my hair. Or you could put coconut oil in it and let it sit on as a mask, and that really moisturizes the white part of your hair, or the dry, because it is quite dry. You know, when you lose the color in your hair, you're losing melanin. So just like as we age, you lose the color in our skin, we lose the color in our hair. And so we want to, you know, I guess if we're going to talk about that, it's, you know, adding color back in. That's why, you know, you want to make sure you have makeup on when your hair goes white. And oh, before I get into that, I just wanted to mention another hair care product that I really like. And it's called Biosilk Finish. And I don't know if you can see the label here. Anyway, I will put that below for you. And it's called Shine On. It's a spray, a shine spray. And I just spray the white part of your hair. It really makes it, highlights it quite nicely and brings the white out and gives it a really pretty color. So that's another option. So I will link that below for you too. But I'm getting back to talking about color. We want to put color in our face because we're losing the color around us. So that's why I've left some of the darkness in because I don't want to have all the color gone completely, because I still like to wear my wardrobe, which I have a lot of black and white. But you do want to add some color to your face. So, you know, with the lipstick and the eye makeup, you know, you don't need a lot, just add the color and then also the blush. So blush is very important too. So that's a whole other video that I could do on colors of makeup to wear when you're going gray and tips on that. So I'll do another video on that too. Anyway, I just wanted to mention too a book that I had gotten that I got some really good tips out of. And this is called Going Gray and Looking Great. And the author is Diane Lewis Jewell. And this is available on Amazon, and it's a really good book with some great tips. So I went through this and really picked up some good tips on the process. So I will, like I said, I'll put that down below. So anyway, it's I hope that I made some sense, and I hope you enjoyed this video and get some tips. And I would love to hear from you. So please put your comment down below, and I'd be happy to answer you back. And I really appreciate any comments you send. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, have a great day. Bye.